Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bullpen. He's back in the Bullpen today. We have Mr. John Burnett. He is a Republican strategist, financial industry professional with over 20 years of experience in risk management and a university professor. Good to have you back on the show, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Good to be here.
Let's talk about the Republican primary field. And we're going to contextualize some of the, I guess, ideology of people like Ron DeSantis and others who are running campaigns contrary to their actual delivery. I don't want to presume what you know, believe about DeSantis and others who are in this primary, Trump and his tactics. So if you would give us your overview and then I will respond.
Well, this segment is only 13 minutes and we have about 15 Republican candidates, man. Can we get it all in?
We can try, bro. You're gonna have to pay attention to the ones that are polling at least 1%, because most of them aren't even polling at 1%.
Okay, so we can narrow it down.
All right, we can narrow it down now. There you go.
Well, you know, the thing is that interestingly enough, I thought that we might actually be here at this point in terms of the number of candidates that would throw their hat in the ring, so to speak, given that 2016 was the same scenario. And arguably, when you look at even 2020 in terms of the number of people on the Democratic side that actually threw their name in the hat, they never reached 15. But I think the more the merrier, and I think it'll help get the message out. Well, each person get their message out. It'll be easier, to your point, Dr. Richey, if you poll above 3%, you get more media time. So we'll see where it goes. We already know that DeSantis and Trump will be the headliners along with Tim Scott and Ambassador Haley.
Well, let me ask you this, because I find it interesting. I actually think Christie is going to have something to say. And even though his negatives is interesting because he has the highest negatives in the Republican primary of anyone running. His negatives are higher than anybody else's. But he's also the person who's consolidated a particular, let's say, faction of the Republican Party, and nobody else is connecting to that particular faction. And we're talking about individuals who are just disillusioned with Trumpism, disillusioned with the style of DeSantis and others. And then you have Tim Scott, who has a very similar lane. I don't know how numeric it would be for him in the Republican primary, but he has a similar lane, a lane that nobody else has. He's talking about unity, coalition building, connecting to people based on talking things that are not as though they are. All right, so that's the kind of campaign he's running. Do you see room in the Republican primary? And I want you to really think about where you all are right now. Do you see room in the Republican primary for either A, an anti-Trumper getting the nod, or B, a person who literally is not campaigning against anyone else and only talking about what things should be like without providing much context or policy? That's Tim Scott. Tim Scott has a very hopeful message that lacks context. You think it's room for one of them to get the nomination?
You know, in this modern day political arena, it's hard for me to say that it's impossible.
Okay.
I'll say that it is possible to the extent that there are millions of people, whether you talk about the right or the left, that are, how can I say, they're hurting, but they also want to hear policy ideas. And they also want optimism, and they don't want to see a lot of infighting. So I think there is a possibility. Now, to what number or percentage? Not sure, but I think there's at least a double-digit opportunity for the right person. Now, it has to be the right person with the right message, because those individuals also want to hear consistency. Not just that you're not attacking across the way within the same aisle, but they want to hear a consistency of message, ideas, and so forth. And they want to see how well other people are coalescing around those principles or values.
What are the ideas here? What ideas debate are they having? Tell me.
Well, I think the gate just opened, if you will, and as we go into July, which is right around the corner, and move into August. Now, August is going to be, for the lack of a better term, the UFC cage matches with respect to the Republican debates, right? And we still don't know at this point how many of the 15 will qualify in terms of reaching the polling number requirement.
But Professor, listen, all due respect, I'm asking what has the ideas debate been thus far? Because you've had individuals running since the end of January. You're now middle of the year, okay? It's gone. Half of the whole year is gone. Can you articulate what they are actually debating? What are they saying they will deliver differently than the person next to them?
Well, many of the people that you have mentioned and others down the list, the first step many of them are introducing their candidacy to all 50 states.
But how do you wait a minute? How do you introduce your candidacy without introducing what your candidacy stands for?
So what I'm saying, many people like to know what policies you'll be pushing forward.
Correct.
Which I'll
what
get
are
to
they
in a
pushing?
second. But at the same time, they want to hear your credentials, and they also want to know who you are. So you have to do all three at the same time.
Wait a minute. So people need to know the credentials of Chris Christie. Hold on, sir. They've been talking about their credentials. Chris Christie's been talking about his credentials. Tim Scott talking about his credentials.
Christie's at like 1%, and maybe another poll maybe at 2%.
Where's
but I'm
Tim
talking
Scott?
about other people. Well, so there's been some polls, specifically in the early states, that have Tim Scott at 7%.
Okay.
Same thing with
now
Nikki
tell me
Haley.
this: what colleges did Tim Scott go to?
I'm not sure which college.
Exactly. Nobody knows.
I don't even know what college you went to, and you have a doctor.
Yeah, I got more than one doctor.
And
by
I've
the
been
way,
on the show several times with you.
Yes,
so
sir.
I think that's a poor
My point. No, it's your point. It's the point you made to me. I'm making it back to you. The point is, if you're telling me that these individuals have not introduced ideas because they've been talking about their credentials, and you're not able to articulate, hold on, dear brother, I will finish. I will. That's what you said. You said they're telling you their credentials. What qualifies them to be in this particular office? Training, education, job experience, etc. That qualifies you for particular roles. If you can't articulate what these individuals have said in their credentialing, as you have submitted, brother,
you're going down a silly
No,
path.
You made a silly ass statement that they're simply going to tell people their credentials.
Meaning, if you're a legislator, what legislation have you passed that ties into, let's say, jobs, education, things of that nature?
What legislation?
If you were an administrator,
okay, all right, brother. So let me go ahead and ask you a specific question. Okay, I got you.
Right? So,
got you. So
specifically,
I got you specifically. Then, what legislation did Tim Scott pass that created jobs?
Well, one, he was the one of the pioneers of the opportunity zones, and we know.
Whoa! Are you serious, dear brother?
Yes, opportunity zones. Yes. As well as the First Step Act and things of that nature.
Oh, okay.
That were very beneficial.
That's a jobs bill. Now he voted against it under Obama. But let's talk about what you just said in reference to opportunity zones. Do you know what opportunity zones are, dear brother? Do you own buildings?
I know what opportunity zones are.
Explain it to me.
Well, opportunity zones because I know we're running on a hard 13-minute stop. But the thing is that essentially areas that are depressed economically, right? Individuals who will receive a deferred tax break can invest in those areas. And the reason why the key word is deferred, because we know gentrification, a lot of investors will come in, develop, and then immediately take the investment out, right?
Yeah.
To flip, if you will.
Yeah.
Opportunity zones attract that investment, and then investors cannot pull that money out right away. They have to wait, let's say, I think in some instances it's like 10 years.
Well, that's not, so let me go ahead and explain to you what an opportunity zone is. Opportunity zones are allowed to be created per government, per state government, and then it's localized based on region. The federal dollars will come to that state. The state then has to break those federal dollars up into regional distribution, and it all is different per region. They get to set their own rules. And so what that means is when you look at, based upon the facts of how the program has worked, 97% of individuals who take advantage of opportunity zone funding are not citizens of the local community as they would make you believe. They are simply investors who have the prerequisite economic ability to invest based on their model, because in order to even get into the room for an opportunity zone, you have to at least come with $50,000, and many have it set at $150,000. The point is, people think it creates an opportunity for individuals inside of the community, and it does not. It does not, sir. I would be happy if it did, so that the parameters are defined based on the community.
Grossly distorting.
No, I'm not. I'm 100% correct, dear brother.
Capital, opportunity zones matches capital investment.
That's one model of an opportunity zone. The bottom line is it does not create opportunity for citizens in that local community.
So what are the economic depressed opportunities? It's building housing. It's also building manufacturing. It's building business in those areas, hence creating jobs as well as housing. So those are two things that when you look at a lot of depressed economic areas, both white and black, but we're talking about the urban community at this juncture. A lot of those areas don't have housing, don't have jobs.
All right, now let me ask you this: we're out of time, but I want to pose this question to you. All right, Donald Trump and Republicans rolled back the protections for opportunity zones that were in place to make sure that what I just described to you did not happen and abuses were limited. They decided to roll back those restrictions, which increased opportunity zone funding going to traditional investors up to the tune of 97%. The program was created for individuals who did not have access to that kind of capital, lived in that local community, gave a damn about the local community, and encouraged growth in the local community.
That's completely inaccurate.
How? Tell me why I'm inaccurate. Tell me where. Where am I inaccurate?
And look at the results of those opportunity zones.
It depends. You have opportunity zones that have had a cost negative for a community.
No, you're distorted. I encourage people to go, not to just listen to this show.
No, I encourage you to read. What information do you have?
Website and look at. There's a
what website?
Why under the Trump administration, more jobs were created, more investment in things.
But what website are you telling people to go to?
Certain areas. You're
completely
distorting.
What website? Yes. Good brother, I'm trying to give you a moment to tell people what website to go to. Where?
There's a lot. Google opportunity zones, so you can see
go to the propaganda page.
How they work and the benefits of
here's what
opportunity zones.
Gotcha, we got it, brother. So I'm gonna tell people where I think they need to go to. Go wherever. Gotcha. Go wherever the professor says go. Now, this professor is telling you to look at the Bloomberg report in 2020 of opportunity zones, and it's called The Problem with Opportunity Zones. It is a fair analysis across the board, gives you the exact language that I just provided. All right, dear brother, I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Goodbye.